My younger brother was carrying over 100 pounds of cement at a construction site, while I was the chairman of a trillion-dollar corporation. One day, my secretary rushed into the office telling me they had finally found my long-lost brother. To test his character, I decided to disguise myself as a migrant worker and go meet him. I told him from now on I would rely on him to support me. To my surprise, my brother immediately looked flustered and ran off. I couldn't help but feel a little disappointed, thinking maybe even my own brother cared only about money and status. But a short while later, my brother came back carrying an old hen and told me to follow him to the site to carry cement. On the way, he sincerely said even though he didn't have much, as long as he had food, he would never let me go hungry. Then we arrived in front of the site supervisor, and my brother handed over the basket with the chicken. Turns out he had brought it as a gift to help me get the job. He pleaded with the supervisor to arrange some work for me. The supervisor touched the fat hen, then casually tossed me a work permit telling me to report immediately. I really didn't like this kind of behavior, but when I looked back, I saw that under the hen were stacks of brand new bills. Seeing my brother's money being used like that, I was instantly filled with rage. I scolded the supervisor for taking bribes and said I would report him. The supervisor was immediately unhappy and told my brother to take the chicken back, saying I didn't deserve a job there at all. What he didn't know was that this construction site was actually owned by my company. My brother quickly stepped forward to explain, saying I had just returned from out of town and didn't understand the rules. He pushed the basket forward again, but the supervisor didn't give him any face and told us to take our things and get out. Just then, the site manager arrived after hearing the commotion. My brother rushed up to him humbly to plead, but the manager said before one chicken was fine, but now 2 chickens were required. Turns out the second phase of the construction project was about to begin, which meant more profits in the future. So, the price of bribery had also gone up. According to the new rule, it would take 2 chickens, which meant $100,000. The manager said it casually, but for rural workers, that was an entire year's wage. To keep my job, my brother begged the manager to pay him his 6 months of unpaid wages and said he would use that plus the chicken and the money inside as my entry fee. When I heard they hadn't been paid in over 6 months, I was instantly furious. I secretly messaged my secretary telling her to send someone from headquarters to investigate immediately. She got the message and immediately realized I had discovered something, so she rushed over with the team. At that moment, one of the workers suddenly fell to his knees begging the manager to pay his overdue wages, saying his sick elderly mother couldn't wait any longer, and then he even began bowing his head to the manager. The manager just gave the supervisor a look, and the supervisor started beating the worker. The manager pretended to help him up, scolding the supervisor for using violence while trying to calm everyone down. He said he also wanted to pay the workers, but the funding hadn't been approved, so his hands were tied. Then he asked if anyone was in urgent need of their pay. After seeing the beating, none of the workers dared to speak up. I couldn't stand it anymore and stepped forward to angrily expose the manager, saying he was dressed in luxury and even his watch was worth billions. My brother quickly tried to stop me, pulling me away to leave, but the supervisor suddenly kicked my brother to the ground.